So I'm going to talk a little bit about anterior column reconstruction. This is my disclosure. This is where I work in Barcelona. And thank you again for the invitation to be here. Well, you know that adult spinal deformity is a complex pathology. It has complex patients, complex lung surgery. So overall, it is a challenge for us surgeons. So the standard of care nowadays is still posterior deformity correction, which is open surgery with wide soft tissue dissection. You get bleeding, muscle denervation, drains, and you will need osteotomies to get the right alignment, sagittal and coronal, right? And you know that this can imply a lot of complications, infections, blood loss, prolonged stay in the ICU, delayed time until the patient is moving, until you can send him home, and the possibility of recovery is long, especially for the older people. And you have all the typical complications, PJK, PJF, rod breaking, and if you do PSO or VCRs, well, you have a lot of blood loss. You have more than 50% of complications are reported. So this is definitely not MIS. It's a solution, but it's maybe not the ideal solution. So the challenges in deformity surgery, as you can see here, were all the complications, undercorrection, hardware failure, kyphosis, PJF, PJK, pseudoarthrosis, and of course, minimal invasive approaches. So the advances that we have had in the last 20 years to correct ASDs are not only just radiological parameters, et cetera, but also that we have now minimal invasive tools to address this. So when and why can we use MIS for deformity, right? So why is obvious. If you can get your patients on their feet, especially the old ones, okay, that matters, because the earlier your patients are moving, the less complications you will have postoperatively. So it's definitely important to get your patients moving. There's this algorithm, which I think is a nice approach to actually try to classify when you can use MIS techniques and when not. And well, you can take a look at it, especially, well, for not too strong deformities, there is the option to do this with MIS, okay? For the strongest deformities, maybe we're not there yet. Probably in 10, 15 years, it will be another story. So what is the pros of the anterior column reconstruction? Well, no need for osteotomies, less bleeding, less ICU stay, better pain control, which is also important. You can move your patients earlier, you can send them home earlier, and probably you have less complications. This is something that we're still working on, okay? Against it is, of course, you will need more time. Short term, you will have more costs because you need more implants, probably you stage your surgery, and possible undercorrection in stiffer spine, okay? So how do you know the flexibility of the spine? Well, you need the dynamic x-rays just to see how much lordosis you can create by forcing the patient. You can even use a fulcrum to try to bend him. And you will use the bending like you use in the adolescent scoliosis, just to see how much coronal correction you will get. And how you get with MIS the correction? Well, you need to release the disc with laterally with the osteotome, okay? And then by putting in the cage, you can see here, okay, how you open up the space. So you will get the coronal correction this way. And sagittal correction, usually you get it with L4, L5 and L5S1 by cutting the ALL and putting in hyperlordotic cages. Okay, so you can see that you can get big cages inside with 20, 25, even 30 degrees of lordosis. And this is the way you can get the sagittal correction. And then, of course, the percutaneous screw. Well, you heard the talk before. Usually you want to stage this kind of procedures, okay? So in the first stage you will do your anterior approaches, in the second stage you will go posteriorly. Of course this is good for the patient. You have less insult in one session. The surgical team, of course, will not be that fatigued. And you have the possibility to rethink your strategy. This is actually a very important thing, because sometimes you do your correction and afterwards you change your plan, okay? Of course, this will take you more time. It will imply more costs, at least short term, and it will eventually have a longer stay or not, depending on how your patient behaves. So there's a lot of papers on staged surgery comparing it to on one session surgery, and it's similar outcomes. It can be performed safely, and there's this nice paper in Spine where they actually say that you have less ICU admissions, superior patient outcomes, and it helps actually in compared to same-day procedures. I get a lot of questions because you rely, with MIS, you rely on fusion of the anterior column, okay? So what you work on is actually, you want the anterior column to get fused. So what happens to the segments, the proximal levels, that are actually not, that have no anterior interbody locking, okay? And either you decorticate the facets, which is more aggression, but that's one way, or there are now several papers out there saying that actually you don't need that. You don't need the anterior to rely for the proximal levels, because actually you will get 60 to 70% fusion anyway, and there is a similar rate of complications than doing it openly. So, ALIF, I think you all know that. You will get nice correction compared to TLIF. Left retroperitoneal approach, you get it, your disc exposed. Of course, you have to be careful with vascular complications. You know, this is the kind of slide I show when I have to teach them. So complication number one is, why did I get involved in this operation? Number two, why did I become a surgeon? And we all probably had somehow the number four, which is why I was born, get me out of here. So this is of course tricky. You have different kind of complications that you will get with ALIF, and especially you guys who like to do endoscopic TLIFs and you think this is T-share radiculitis is something only that you get with endoscopic, you also get it with ALIF, up to 35% of postoperative radiculitis, probably because of the distraction when you put in very big cages. So for me, ALIF is a high risk but also a high reward procedure. So you have to be aware when to indicate it. Okay, OLIF. Well, you have seen many talks about OLIF. I like to do OLIF a lot. I think it's nice. Of course, you will get your complications here with eventrations. So how to avoid complications? Patient selection. If you have, you know, big patients operated previously, so maybe think about another strategy. Or you can go lateral, as you can see here. You can do ALIFs in lateral position, and you can place it with the belly down, which is also helpful. So just to get a few case examples, this patient here with about 30 degrees of coronal misalignment, he was definitely needing lordosis, but challenging vascular situation. You have the leak pipe artery, smoker. He had a case of this spontaneous spondylolisthesis. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay, well, whatever. You see in the disc up there at L1, L2. So he had a spondylolisthesis that healed 1 year before, and he had a quite, well, it was challenging. He had fused, this vertebra was fused, so I had to go and do an osteotomy. Challenging vascular situation for L5S1. Probably here I overdid, so you can see here the vascular situation. I was kind of reckless and I thought I could go past that, but I'm not a vascular surgeon, so this was definitely the wrong indication for an ALIF. So I just did the coronal correction with the lateral cages, and you can see we gained, even though I didn't get the ALIF cage in, I gained about 20 degrees of lordosis. So overall, a good result. 2-year follow-up, patient is doing very well, and he tried to demonstrate me that he's still flexible. Well, you know, you never know, but still, he's very happy with the surgery. This guy had been previously operated twice on the spine, came here with this coronal scoliosis, completely misalignment sagittally, okay, high BMI, anticoagulated, anti-aggregated, so also quite a challenging case. Again here, my thinking was, why would I go posteriorly on a patient that had already had 2 posterior surgeries, right? You have all the scar tissue, risk of infection, risk of dural tear. So you go anterior, you go lateral. This is intraoperative, this is postoperative, and you can see again a good gain of lordosis, a good compensation coronally, okay? And when you look at the parameters, you see that you can get a very nice correction, PI minus LL, about 5 degrees, so actually a good correction, patient is happy. So my last case, and this is how I finish, 66 years old, Parkinson's disease, very severe osteoporosis, and she was almost unable to walk, 45 degrees of coronal misalignment, okay? So, and you can see sagittally, also lumbar kyphosis, very high mismatch in PI and lumbar lordosis. You can see also fusion laterally of the segments. And so these are the bending x-rays. And the question is, what would you do? I'm almost finished. Parkinson's patients, my experience is, if you go only posterior, screws always loosen up. It's a matter of time. With Parkinson's, they always end up with screw loosening. So you're running against time. You need to get the bony fusion before the screws loosen up, okay? So I went anteriorly, hyperlordotic A-lift cage. You can see I got it down to 5 degrees coronally, and I gained about 35 degrees of lordosis sagittally. And the nice thing about it is this patient with all her comorbidities, this is three days after surgery, no ICU, in a complete deformity correction. This is 2 weeks after surgery. Patient is moving well. She was feeling fine. Hospital discharge was after 3 days. And 2-year follow-up, the patient is doing really well. And especially in the CAT scan, I get the fusion on the different levels. So now I'm happy because I know even though she has Parkinson's, even though I get screw loosening, which she will get eventually, she's fused, so that should be fine. So in conclusion, I think MIS, anterior column reconstruction, allows the treatment of ASD in all planes. I recommend stage surgery. Indication is a key to success. Remember that algorithm. Less likely ICU stay, better pain control, and you can get your patients on your feet quite quickly. Thank you very much.